get you in the door. Start the fire. Thanks for joining me today. As always, this is just a demonstration of how I go about doing things. If you have a better way, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you decide to do one of these skills yourself, I would encourage you to research multiple sources. I've included a couple of excellent links in the description, as well as links to me doing these skills in real life. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next skill. Today we're going to talk about building a fire, campfire sort. Building a fire is a skill that a lot of people seem to have lost. Either use a bunch of paper or cardboard, pack stuff on it randomly, or you kind of put it together, use a little lighter fluid. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it, but if you build the fire the right way, it'll be easy to light every time. It's not so important in August when it's nice and sunny and everything, but in December when you got some rain-soaked wood and you're in the snow and you need to be warm right now, building it right the first time can mean the difference between success and failure. So let's get started. We'll start with kindling. Okay, so from left to right, this is how I build my fire. These are kind of the sizes of materials that I think of when I build fire. So here I have some bark. What you'll see about this is it has really tiny fibers, especially as I get going. Then you have grass. Grass has tiny fibers, but it also has bigger things, but it's hollow inside, which makes a difference. Then I've got some wood, really small shavings, then a little bigger shavings, a little fuzz stick as well. Then stuff about twice the size of that, and then about twice the thickness of that, and then twice the thickness of that. And then from there you can put pretty much whatever you want on there. So let's go into how I build a fire. I could just use paper, but I have a hard time doing that unless I'm just trying to get rid of newspapers or something. So first thing, you want really small fibers. I think of this as making the bed for the fire. Everything likes to have a bed. House isn't complete till you have a bed in it. Since we're building a house around the bed, in this case with the fire, so I've got these nice small fibers, and that's going to be the bed for my fire. If you were using like a flint and steel, you would actually make a spot for it. Since I'm just going to be using a lighter, I like to make a spot that I can get under it with the flame. All right, so once you have the bed, the next step is just to build on that. So now I've got grass, again, small fibers with little bigger fibers. And for me, the only style of fire to build is a teepee fire. There's log cabin, there's a lot of different styles. This one just works the best for me. If you have a style you like, go ahead and use that. So this should just look like a teepee. Now you'll notice that right here, I'm keeping that open because I've got to stick my flame in there. If you don't leave a spot to stick your flame, that's going to end poorly. Okay, so now the other thing you want to do is leave plenty of room for oxygen. Nothing does very well without oxygen. Okay, the problem with grass is it's not going to last very long once it starts to burn. So that's where these little wood shavings come in. They will, like a match, they will hold the fire longer than the grass. That's a little big. Again, keep a spot open for the door and keep plenty of room for air. Okay. Next, we're going to use these guys. So remember, fire burns up. So like my little fuzz stick, I'm actually going to put right above where I think the flames are. Now here's where you can get into problems, because you can squish your house down too much. For me, I actually like to use regular branches, because then I can use kind of the crook of a branch, which will allow the fire to rest on that rather than the stuff below it. And then some bigger stuff. And then bigger yet. I'm not going to put these on because I don't really want this fire to go yet, but I'll have them ready. The other thing that you do want to do that I didn't do a very good job of is you want to have some extra small tinder laying right here. Let's see. So here's some twigs. Because sometimes the fire doesn't go where you would expect it to go. So if you try and reach in and pull out a piece, the whole thing's going to crumble, and that's not going to work very well for you. But if you have some of the appropriate sized wood laying here, you can just put it on the fire. Okay. Once you have it that way, I would put these on. Then it's just a matter of a match would actually be easier here. Since I've got a lighter, just going to reach in the door, start the fire. Now you see that grass burns pretty quick, but now my pine is starting to catch. Once that pine starts to catch, then you're in good shape. When it's just this burning, it may go out just because it burns through it so quickly. There you have a fire. You see that it's actually is being supported by the bigger beams. That's what you want, so that it doesn't get crushed.